Most men believe attraction is simple. Be nice, be loyal, show love, be available, and everything will work out. But reality rarely works that way, because attraction isn't built on comfort alone. It's built on strength, presence, and emotional stability. And whether men realize it or not, women are constantly observing these qualities. Not always consciously, but instinctively. They watch how a man reacts, how he handles pressure, how he carries himself when things don't go his way. These moments become silent evaluations, small tests that reveal the kind of man standing in front of them. And most men fail these tests without even realizing they were being tested. Not because they are bad men, but because no one ever taught them what these moments actually mean. Today, we're going to talk about 7 hidden tests women give men. The third one is where most men lose respect without even noticing. Let's begin. The first test is emotional control. Sometimes she will disagree with you, not aggressively, not dramatically, just enough to see how you respond. Many men immediately become defensive. They raise their voice. They argue harder. They try to prove they are right. But the moment a man loses control of his emotions, he loses authority in that moment. A stoic man understands something important. Not every disagreement requires a battle. Sometimes, strength is shown through calmness, through confidence, through the ability to say, "I see your point," and remain completely composed. Emotional stability is one of the most powerful signals of strength a man can display. The second test is independence. Sometimes she pulls back slightly. Maybe she replies slower. Maybe she becomes less available. This moment reveals a lot about a man. Some men panic. They double text. They chase harder. They start overthinking everything. But a man with self-respect doesn't collapse when attention fluctuates. His life continues. His focus remains on his purpose. Because his identity isn't dependent on someone else's validation. And that kind of stability is incredibly attractive. Now the third test, and this is the one most men fail, the test of approval. Sometimes, a woman will challenge your decisions, your opinions, your direction, not necessarily because she disagrees, but because she wants to see if you trust yourself. Many men start explaining themselves endlessly, trying to convince, trying to justify, trying to win approval. Here's the truth. The more a man seeks approval, the less respect he receives. A stoic man listens. He considers. But he doesn't abandon his convictions to be liked. He stands on his principles quietly, without arrogance, without aggression, just certainty. And that quiet certainty commands respect. The fourth test is patience. Sometimes plans change. Sometimes things don't go exactly how you expected. These moments reveal character. A man who becomes irritated, frustrated, or resentful over small disruptions shows a lack of control. But a patient man remains steady because he understands something simple. Life rarely moves according to our expectations, and maturity is measured by how we adapt. The fifth test is boundaries. Occasionally, a woman may push limits slightly. Maybe she jokes in a way that crosses a line. Maybe she tests what behavior you tolerate. This isn't always malicious. Often it's subconscious. But it reveals something important. Does this man respect himself enough to establish boundaries? A man who tolerates everything slowly loses respect. But a man who calmly sets limits shows strength, not through anger, attention to how a man spends his time, what drives him, what he wakes up thinking about. A man without direction drifts. He becomes reactive, dependent on external validation. But a man with purpose moves differently. His energy is focused. His priorities are clear. And people naturally respect a man who is building something meaningful. The seventh and final test is silence. Sometimes there will be moments where a woman says very little. She observes, she watches, and she notices how a man fills that silence. Does he become nervous? Does he talk endlessly to impress? Or does he remain comfortable in his own presence? Silence reveals confidence. A man who is comfortable with quiet moments shows emotional strength because he doesn't need constant validation to feel secure. And this is the core lesson. Attraction and respect are not built through constant effort to impress. They are built through presence, through discipline, through emotional control, through self-respect.
A Stoic man doesn't perform for approval. He lives according to principles, and those principles naturally attract respect, not only from women, but from everyone around him. Most men spend their lives chasing approval, but the moment a man stops chasing and starts standing firmly in who he is, everything changes. Because true strength isn't loud, it's calm, it's disciplined, it's certain. And people can feel that energy without a single word being spoken. If this message resonated with you, consider subscribing. Because most men go their entire lives without hearing these truths. And here, we're bringing them back.